Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of Cop Talk. See, normal services resumed for Preds. Back to his usual self. I knew it wouldn't last. You put him in the office, you talk to him, he bucks up for a couple of weeks, and then back to the norm. It's all right, mate. Don't worry.
Consistency, mate. Consistency.
I'll let him off. Don't worry. But nice to have you on board, Preds.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everybody out there.
Good evening. Stoney, my brother, how are we doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Preds, you just need to remind everybody that you're on a hybrid thing, man. So you don't have to be in the studio, but you're constantly traveling. That's what you need to remind them, man.
See, he said it perfectly.
Hybrid for real. It's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Yes,
people, so how we feeling, man? That season's ended now. How we feeling? And Saturday, there was no match of the day. How we feeling? Have you got used to it?
I'm feeling quite relieved, to tell the truth. I am. I'm glad it's finished. So as he said, we're waiting for the Euros to start. We're waiting for our new manager's assistant to actually get his work permit. And our first game's going to be, I think it's like July the 27th. But in all honesty, RT, I'm glad the season's finished so we can just relax. That's how I'm feeling.
Okay. Good evening, VW. Looks like they kicked you out that mansion you was in, bro. What happened? Keep up the tables, bro. Huh?
Yeah, just having to adjust the location for a few weeks, you know.
Okay. No worries, man. You know you high flyers how you do. It's all right. So, Prince, how you feeling, man?
Good afternoon.
Season's over, man. How you feeling?
You know what? I kept up with watching the European League final and watching the playoff. The Championship playoff? So I've topped up my football on that. I've also topped up my football on playing Football Manager, so it's kept me a little bit busy. I think I'm doing a bit of scouting for our new manager, just to see the new, if there's any bargains out there and any priceless signings that we should be going out there for. So I might give them an email later as well.
Okay, good stuff. VW, how are you feeling that the season's finished, man? Like there's no match of the day and all that. You're all right, or you starting to get withdrawal symptoms already?
No, I'm actually all right with it. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of been doing a little bit of on the whole Jurgen Klopp thing, actually. Like, thinking about what does it mean that he's left? What actually, where does he now that he's gone, where actually does he sit in terms of greatness, in terms of Liverpool? And I'll be honest with you, I've got him way up there, but I'm sure that's a conversation for later. And I've been catching up on a little of those, those podcasts, what Gary Neville does, Stick to Football, with Jamie Carragher and those guys. And I was watching one, I hate to say it, I was watching the one with Andy Cole. And it was, being a Liverpool fan, watching it from a different perspective, it was quite interesting listening to Andy Cole and his career and so forth, things like that, because he is underrated. I think as time's moved on, McCoy forgot how good he really was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I know Gary Neville's like from my bitter rivals, but it's a decent watch, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's a decent watch, that thing, and I did watch that Andy Cole one as well. And there was a few things I think he probably wanted to say, which he kind of held back a bit, I thought, but good watch.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out, mate. I think definitely have to check that out and have a butcher's me old self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Gary Neville gives Cop Talk a shout out. I'm not giving this show a shout out, but it's decent.
Yeah. But it's decent, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as Stoney mentioned about our new assistant manager, Arne Slot, he actually starts officially on Saturday after signing a 3-year contract and winning the Dutch Cup and Eredivisie. So he's coming in off a high. So hopefully he can hit the ground running and we can just perpetuate that motion, and take it to another level. That's the one thing. So are we excited about this new manager now?
Go on, mate.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You go, mate. Age before beauty, mate. Go on.
Do you know what? I don't know how I'm actually feeling. I'm still, and this is just me. So I just feel like I'm making the transition from the season ending. I'm making a transition from Klopp actually leaving, and then a new manager coming in. So I actually feel quite underwhelmed. And I think for me that's probably a good thing, because I don't actually have an expectation of this current manager. So yes, I do want him to perform well. Yes, I would like for him and our new team to actually purchase players, whatever that looks like, and I'm sure you're going to cover that with us at some stage in the show. I don't want him to have any drop off from City or Arsenal, but other than that, I still don't know what to expect from him as a manager. So yeah, as I said, I just feel underwhelmed, and I'm just watching this space. So yeah.
Okay. Reds?
You know what? couldn't really pick it, like put a finger on it, and then I think Stoney kind of touched upon it. Like a little bit underwhelmed in regards to. I think with this whole Klopp situation, because they've stretched it out quite a lot, haven't they? I mean, he had this. Where was he last night? Was it last night they were, or the night before? He was in the. I can't remember what it was, but it's a big old fair. I've seen videos of it, and him crying and X, Y, and Z. So I think it's kind of the situation where the Klopp leaving has been drawn out quite long, and I've not really had time to actually think. Right, you know what? We've got a new manager coming, because everything's still about Klopp.
Very true.
So
very true.
you know what I mean. So I think it's going to take time. And I think from when July the 1st and his first day comes, and it's going to be breaking news, and X, Y, and Z comes on all those most social media sites, and X, Y, and Z, I think that's when it will start to kind of settle in, and the excitement will hopefully grow.
Okay. VW, how you feeling? You feeling excited?
Yeah. Again, I'm a bit like Stoney. Not too sure just yet. I'm happy that it seems like we've got the right man. I posted in a couple of groups. I'm in an interview with Sander Westerveld, who's actually played alongside Slot, and it was quite interesting because he is of the belief that, and he would know that this guy is actually very much like Klopp. So it's going to be most probably, hopefully, a seamless transition in that regards. The one thing what I don't hope, but I hope is not the case, is that the players don't see him come in and think he's trying to be like Klopp.
Yeah.
Because that could go against him, even though that may be his natural persona anyway. Do you get what I mean? So that's my one concern. But other than that, let's just see how things go, man.
Okay. Yeah, I must say, I think well, it's not. I'm not so much excited, but I'm just happy that that it's new change, fresh. It's fresh, because I think that we had started to go a bit stale, and I think the time is right now. The time is right. I'm also pleased that I've got so much respect for Klopp. I'm pleased that he didn't tarnish his rep by staying on too long, and then like almost being pushed out the door kind of thing. I'm happy about that. So yeah, I'm happy. Not so much excited. I'm happy at the moment. So we'll just watch the space, and we will definitely see and keep you up to date with what's going on. One of the things. Go on, Vinny.
Sorry. I was gonna say, irrespective of what happens with Slot being in place, it is very, very clear now, like you said, that Klopp had to leave for not only for himself, but like you say, I think it although at the time when he announced it, you're thinking, what's going on?
Yeah.
Now you can really see actually it had reached its conclusion, and at the best time, because he's kind of wanting more, which is most probably the best way to leave a club.
Best way. Best 100%. Definitely the best way.
But don't you think before we move on, don't you think there's been, it seems like football's going in a particular way in regards to, you know, you got Pochettino, he resigned, or well, mutual parting of ways. But I think it's because this mold of a football manager is now molded into as a head coach with all the people behind him, like the technical director, sporting director, director of football. I don't even know if there's a director of football anymore. I think it's just a sporting, you know. So a lot of the teams are now going down this structure, and I think don't be surprised if when Man City go down that route and Pep is then finally gone. It just seems like the role of manager's gone. But I don't know. Who knows?
Pep is only staying one more season anyway. That's the talk. That this season coming is going to be his last.
Because his contract expires at the end of this season.
Yeah.
I think now there's so much involved with the clubs now, and there's so much going on that back in the day the manager used to literally run the club, isn't it? And now they're not clubs anymore. They're literally businesses. They're enterprises and so forth and such. So it makes sense that you're a head coach from that perspective, as opposed to a manager. And Klopp maybe came in at the right time for Liverpool, the right time for him, and the right time for Liverpool. That we were in a situation where we needed someone to take the reins and control it to that extent. But during the time that he was there, the right pieces were put into the jigsaw, and now it's a case of that structure's all in place. We just need a coach now. Klopp was maybe the last manager we're going to see at Liverpool.
Good evening, Demas. Nice to have you on board, sir. Demas says, good evening, article. And gents, big up Demas. I see Demas, you lot come like Vinny and Stoney, man. You lot fell short. Huh? Hey, couldn't get it over the line again, Demas, mate. Hey, 2 seasons in a row. What's going on? Demas, tell me, man. Put it in the comments. You're gonna win it next season, then, yeah? Or is it more transition? Or next season it's on? What is it? What is it for you boys? Tell me. Nice to have you on board, Demas. Listen, do remember, hit that like, that share, and that subscribe. So I saw a comment from Raphael van der Vaart suggesting that Gravenberch turn into a number 6 to get more game time for Liverpool and Holland. And Koeman coming out saying that because of his actual game time at Liverpool this season, he's in the squad, but he is well behind everybody else in the pecking order. What do you reckon of that? Him having to turn into a number 6? Does he have the attributes to do that?
I think that would be quite interesting, because I'm not too sure what position or positions, plural, he actually played at Bayern Munich. I'm not saying he can't be coached into playing in a different position. Would he change that? Was that questioned by Van der Vaart to say whether he'd need to change his position to stake a better game playing Liverpool and the national team? Or do you reckon it's for the purpose of just for Liverpool?
He said for both.
For both.
Yeah, saying both. He's saying, yeah, make that his position, and then that will help him to get into the Holland team as a starter.
Wow.
Big up. Demas says, yeah, man, we go again. Okay.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, Very interesting. So, Vinny, what do you reckon to that statement by Van der Vaart about turning Gravenberch into a number 6 so they can get more game time at Liverpool, which will obviously enable him to get more game time for Holland?
I don't know, mate. I'll be honest with you. That I don't know on that one. That seems a bit bizarre to me. And I ain't gonna lie.
Why do you want? He's not got the attributes, or what?
I don't think he's got the attributes. I'm questioning him at the moment anyway. I'm just not seeing enough of him. So for him to be a number 6, I don't know, man. I will bow down to a greater power of knowledge with that one.
Okay, Preds.
Look, all I'm going to say is he's still young. He's still learning his trade. In respect of playing number 6, is it playing number 6 to get more minutes for Liverpool?
Both for Liverpool and then to obviously get into the Holland side.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's still, what is he, 21, 22? You know, and he's still evolving. Yeah, he's still evolving as a player. So to kind of handpick him and to put him into a number 6 or to get game time, I think in a modern game nowadays, players have to be adaptable. And like we've seen it with McAllister, Mac 10 has been able to play as a number 10. He's been able to play as a number 6, as a number 8. So I should imagine that that's something that, you know, Gravenberch is something that he's definitely got to work on and work towards, because he's one of those. It's like you've got to aim to play in the position to get a shirt.
He looks a lot older than 22, though, doesn't he?
He does. He does. Look a bit older. He does.
He's had a harsh paper round, I'm telling you.
It will be interesting with that that question from Van der Vaart. It will be interesting because so the Netherlands have qualified for the Euros. It will be interesting to see whether Ronald Koeman actually plays in that position at all throughout the tournament. Yeah, that will be actually. I'm actually going to keep my eye on that. RT. That'll be interesting to see.
Oh, definitely. From I heard that, I said I'm definitely looking at that to see what happens there. Diva says, rather than we don't win it, then rely on that whatless little bitty team Spurs, we should add 3 to 4 players and go again. Well, the only issue with that, I might say to you, is that Arsenal need to actually sell before they buy. They need to watch financial fair play. Buying Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and Timber, they spent a good bit of corn already, so they actually need to sell before they buy. So I don't know about the 3 to 4 players, mate. Yeah, that'd be very interesting to watch. Okay, Joel Matip looking to stay in the Prem and go to Bournemouth. You think that would be a good fit, gents? A good move for club or good move for player?
I think that'd be a good move for him. I think he's still got a lot to offer. I think Bournemouth are one of those up and emerging teams that kind of done really well. Where did they finish? 12th or something in the table, or even higher?
Something like that.
Yeah. Their manager seems like he's got his feet under the table. They seem like they seem like they're playing decent football, and I think, you know, what they're probably missing is that air of experience. And I think everyone knows Joe Matip, a fit Joe Matip. I would have kept him, to be quite honest, if he was, you know. But whether how long he's going to, how many games he's going to play would probably be the only question mark.
Okay, Vinny, what do you reckon of that?
Well, Bournemouth's where all the pensioners go, isn't it? To retire, isn't it? Right. So it's quite appropriate that he's going down there, if truth be known. But yeah, do you know what? I wish him all the best. He's been most probably one of the most underrated players we've ever had at Liverpool in terms of what he's contributed in the success. So it was just very important. Yeah, and he came on a free. Yeah. And chose not to play for his international side. Do you know what I mean? So if you even consider that, and we missed him because of a lot of injuries, but he must have even prolonged his career even more so without all the travelling and so forth because he elected not to play for Cameroon. So, yeah, I wish him all the best. He's been a great servant for the club, but I wouldn't want to see him stay on at Liverpool, if truth be known. I think, again, that door's closed from my perspective. I'm very thankful for what you've done. Go and enjoy, go and have another good couple of seasons or another season with another club. You know what I mean? Because you got robbed. You got robbed of this season, unfortunately. Go have it somewhere else.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah, I can only extend on what Vinny was saying there as well. I think Ariola's building a nice team down at Bournemouth. I think it's just Adam Smith and Fredericks down there in terms of senior centre backs. Sorry, in terms of senior centre backs. So even if he's going down there to add and complement what they've done this season, add a bit more experience down there. And I personally think he's still able to actually play in the Premiership as well. So yeah, just go down and enjoy himself down on the coast. And then, as long as he doesn't put in any good performances against Liverpool, I don't actually mind. But he'll be going to a good club as well because he's stable. And as he said, they played nice football, Bournemouth. So yeah, just let him go there and enjoy himself.
Wow! Listen, before I get to my next statement, this is a big one, Demas, man. He said this is who we need to sell: Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Zinchenko, Partey, Tavares, Ramsdale, and Jesus. And that's
a good call.
Something.
That is a very big shout by
that's
Demas.
A massive shout.
It is, and
I
in
don't
fairness,
know if I fully agree with all of them, to be honest.
No, but in fairness, that is a good scoop. Could you bring that back up again, RT Demas's information? So in fairness, so Smith Rowe was struggling back with injuries, right? Didn't really get that much game time. And Nketiah played some games at the beginning of the season, managed to get one hat-trick. Reece Nelson was also a bit part player. Shevchenko, I've obviously heard a lot of feedback from Arsenal supporters whether he should actually be playing as well, and he probably plays a little bit different than when he does play in the fullback position. Prior to Arsenal purchasing Declan Rice, they were speaking about Partey like he was like prime Perlo. Some sort of get some money from it. Tavares has been bit part player. Things haven't worked out with with Ramsdale, and Jesus is Jesus. So for all of those, they can probably get about 10p. So in that sense, Demas is
that right. Each or all of them together?
All of them together.
Combined.
Yeah. Pack of mojos. So he's probably right in terms of moving them on, which is interesting.
Pack of mojos. We went old school, bro.
Mojos.
In that, they can probably earn a little bit of money. I think what would be interesting, though, even though I know this is not an Arsenal show, on some of the forums that were mentioned that Arsenal probably need to purchase a striker for them to push a little bit more for Man City. But they weren't off. They were not off in terms of goals scored from Man City at the end of this season.
No, they weren't.
Diet Pep must have done something right in terms of spreading the goals around for Arsenal this season. But I suppose that's another show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who cares?
Good evening, brother Tabrice. Nice to have you on board, sir. Nice to know you're listening, locked in. Evening, fellas. How much money do you think Slot will have in the transfer window?
Not much.
I'm saying Edwards is back. So if he's going to move on any players, I'm confident Edwards is going to be able to have a war chest. That's all I think, personally.
Yeah, and you have to remember, it's not Slot who would have that money. It's Edwards. We can show that, not Slot. Slot will be there just to coach the players that Edwards and that bring in.
See, this is where I'm a bit of a relic in respect of I've grown up, and we've all grown up with football teams having managers who have a certain way of playing, and they want certain players to fit that bill of play. How can what do you call it? A CEO or a technical director or whatever, sporting director, are they almost telling the coach how to play the game of football, like what type of football needs to be played? Because how can you get a sporting director say, right, we're going to get this player, now work with him, and then it's like, well, this player might not fit into the philosophy of my team and how I want my team
I don't
to play.
think it's that raw though, Prince. I don't think it's that raw, to be fair. I think that more than likely, Scott will say, well, this is the kind of player that I want, and then Edwards will go out and source the player. Rather than the manager, the coach is saying, right, I'm going to go and buy him. He's going to say, I need this kind of player. And then Edwards will say, all right, then. Well, you know what? Yeah, I got these three that fit your billing. And then I'll go out and see what I can do. There's no way that Edwards can just go out and say, oh, because I know I can get him for cheap and I'm going to bring him in. That doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
make no sense.
I mean, like, putting aside the finances, like the finance is always going to be there, but it's just the type of player. So it's about the character, and it's not just about how much they cost, or how many goals they're going to score, or how many tackles they're going to make. It's almost like there's a criteria to fulfill in regards to making sure that they are they're humble, they're the right character on the pitch, off the pitch. Do they bring the right attributes? In regards to how we want to play offensively, defensively. But the only person who can do that is the manager. And if you get a sporting director saying, well, look, here's a set of 3 people, it still might not be might not be the 3 players that the manager has his eye on.
Well, sorry, you know what? I'd have to disagree with you, because I'm not going to question Edwards with his track record. The players that he's brought in, bro, I'm telling you,
I think
fit the bill.
I think there's enough dialogue. I think there's enough dialogue between the coach and that board, or there will be, to ensure that they are all on the same page. I think the difference was with Klopp was, again, maybe what Klopp came into, what Klopp wanted. And I think Liverpool have learnt their lesson. Not to say that was a bad lesson, but I think Liverpool have learnt their lesson now in terms of how they want everyone to be working together, head coach and the sporting. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue, because I think they're going to be all in sync in terms of what they're looking for, character, so forth. I would assume that when they even when they contact the player, when they speak to the player, I'm sure there's going to be questions and answers that the coach will also be involved in to gauge whether that's who I want or not. I don't think it's just going to be. I don't think it's going to be a Chelsea situation. I think Chelsea operate like that, but I don't think Liverpool will.
100%. Evening, brother O. Sampson says evening all. Dima says big up to Brees as well. Big Teach, nice to have you on board. He says evening, Jensen. Big T says, Artie, are you cold? Nah, man, just a bit of nostalgia. You know what? I made my girls tidy up their room, and my little one, because she's into football and she's playing football now, she'd actually stolen Pops' Liverpool scarf and had it on her bed. You know what I mean? Hiding from me. So he's like, yeah, hey, bring that back. So I got it back. So I thought, you know what? Share it on, man. Chat. Get me. Edwards knows his way around the market and probably has at least 2 or 3 players lined up. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, Vinny. There's got to be enough dialogue. He'll give him a full spec of what I want. You know, like he has to be a grafter, be able to get forward, get back, whatever, blah blah. Full grafter. Edwards will go out with that CV and say, all right, cool. These are the players who I've identified who fit the profile that you're looking for. Simples. You know what I mean? And rather than that guy over there who's 100 million, I got these 3 over here who I can get for about 30. He's 35, and that one there's about 37. Do you know what? Let's see what we can do. Definitely, that one work.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see from the sidelines how it manifests itself. And
you have to remember as well that Slot knows he's coming into that situation. So he's not he's there and then they've been brought in after him. You know what I mean? They are already in place. So he has to be already, okay, I'm prepared to work with that.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm just saying from an old dinosaur kind of point of view, it's going to be quite interesting to see how it develops. Because, like I said, a lot of the football teams, a lot of elite football teams, are going in this kind of way, and I think that's why I think Klopp brought in Edwards. I think, to be fair, previously I think Klopp identified some certain players, and Edwards went out and got them. Whether it's true or not, it's just me as an old relic.
You're old school.
I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to get and adjust to the new way of how it is at the moment, and that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So there's talk, gentlemen, that Bruno Guimaraes has a 100 million release clause, which needs to be activated by the end of June. Or else, if it's not activated by the end of June, basically, Newcastle can then ask for what they want for him. But for me, there's no way Liverpool's paying 100 million for one player. It's not happening. And you're not even the world. You know what I mean? It's not like your name's like Messi or Ronaldo or whatever. Or Vinicius Jr. You know what I mean? Skinner Maris, man. Like, come on. He's good, but 100 million, really? But they're trying to link him to Liverpool.
I mean, look. To be fair, Newcastle trying to get money because they're not in the Champions League this next season. Are they in Europe next season?
No, they're not in Europe now.
No, I don't even think they're in Europe next season.
No.
So yeah,
Man, you messed them up.
Yeah. Man, you messed them up. So for Newcastle to hold, well, I should imagine that the clause in his contract has an expiry, and I'm sure once that expiry
by the end of June.
The end of June.
If no one's meet that release by the end of June, Newcastle can then ask for what they want, so they can push the price up even further.
I think the player and his agent would have quite a little words with them on that score, because he's one of those. Is like, well, we're not in Europe, and for you to then for no one to pay 100 million, but then for you to then try and get more than 100 million, you're trying to ruin my career, bruv. You know what I mean? So that would be very interesting to watch.
Do you know what they'll probably say though? They'll probably say players like Declan Rice, Casado, Enzo have obviously gone for those volumes of money. That player now probably warrants that amount of money. Has he broken into the international team? I think he plays regularly for Brazil as well, right?
Yeah,
I wonder if he's So I wonder if he's also in the Copa America squad, because if he does, and based on, as he said, what he's actually done at Newcastle, they're probably going to be right in trying to command that amount of money. How much was Paqueta going to be going to Man City for? Was it around that type money?
It was around that same figure, yeah.
Okay. So Newcastle are probably going to hold up for that.
I'll bet it was around that figure. Oh, you lot missed it, man. Come on. That went straight over your heads. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch the repeat.
Watch the replay. Anyway, so Breeze says, "Preds, I'm with you. I'm old school. If you look at the most successful clubs and managers, Sir Alex, Wenger, Mourinho, first time at Chelsea, they were all in control of transfers in and out."
Yeah. I think I'm just trying to get my head around it, because at the moment, so what we brought in Richard Hughes from Bournemouth, right? So he's our director of football. Then we've got Edwards, who's come back in. He's a managing director. Is Andy Hughes still going to be managing director, or does he move on, or do we have two managing directors? And then we've got Julian Ward, who's come in, who is now the technical director. So I agree with you. There's so many tiers.
We've got a director who's a director Flip.
and then we've got all of the directors like what's his name, like Kenny Dalglish and you know, Michael Gordon and stuff. What's their role? So I'm like you, Preds. I still don't understand it. I don't. I'm gonna be honest, I don't.
Yeah, I want to see a job spec. Like,
Yeah,
what does a sporting director do? Like, I think I saw something the other day where the manager, the sporting manager, reports to the technical director, and the manager, or the head coach, reports to the sporting director, and then the sporting director then goes to the CEO, and then there's I'm gonna have to find it and I'll send it on the thing. But it's just like, I want to see a job spec. What does the sporting director do? What does I just want to see it from my own eyes.
Another reason why this sporting director thing now is even more so prevalent over the last couple of years is because of financial fair play and clubs being worried about managers just wanting to go out and spend money willy-nilly. Where these what do you call it? They're more frugal with the money and trying to find players that fit to a budget. I think that's more so. When if you look at other teams who have recently been burnt, you can see why clubs are going to be so worried about that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
You know, these hierarchies and the way they are, they're very similar to American sports teams in terms of what they have. Like, you know, like if you look at basketball, you've got a head coach, you've got a director, you've got someone who brings in the players, you've got somebody who negotiates salaries. Basically. Yeah, it's very, very. It's almost like carbon copy. I could be wrong, but I think it's very much along that sort of element. And even if you look at American football, from their aspects, you've got the coach, but then you've got the coaches for the quarterbacks, you've got the coaches for the defense, you've got the
defensive coach,
you've got directors, you've got the tactical, you've got all these sort of things. So I think you're seeing that maybe that's how the football's transitioning. You got the head coach.
And well, we're owned by Yanks. We are owned by Yanks. Yeah. So
I've just looked up like the role of a sporting director at football club, and it says to sporting director in charge of player recruitment is to ensure that the sign-ins fit in with the club's playing style and sporting vision.
Yeah, of course.
That means bringing in up and coming talent with resale value. So in effect, like, you know, like I said, in my head, it's like, right, here's a player. We feel that he's got potential. We do believe that if he reaches potential, he's got a resale value. So here you go, manager. Have that.
Preds, I've got a question, if you don't mind, and this can actually be a closed question. And I say this, it can just be a straight yes or no, and you'll understand why when I say this. All right. So you've obviously got a senior post in managing a club. What is the tier structure at the club that you're currently managing? Are you able to speak about that? Could actually be a straight yes or no, and if you say no, I completely respect that.
No, yeah, the club where I'm managing, well, not managing, but goalkeeping coach at, and I'm part of it. It's just a non-league setup in regards to, you've got the chairman, then you've got director of football, and then you've got the manager, and then the assistant manager, and then the coaches. But that's just the hierarchy of the club. So in respect of that, the manager is responsible. The director of football there is responsible for, once a manager identifies a player and wants to get the player in, the role of the director of football is then to ensure that, you know, a deal can be struck with that player and do the negotiations to ensure that the manager gets the player he wants. But it kind of seems like this is now in elite football, and like you've said, we're owned by Americans, and it seems like we're going down that American route, and people are adopting this. And listen, fair play to it, and I hope that, you know, football has to change and has to evolve through times. Like, it's gone from just having a chairman and a football manager to a chairman, a CEO, executive, and then a football manager. Now it's gone from chairman, owner, chairman, CEO, director of football, then manager, and now we've got this. Now we've evolved again with regards to owner, CEO, sporting director, technical director, director of director.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's because of the sheer commercial scales now, and the responsibilities are so. How can I put it? I think there's so many titles, there's so many responsibilities, but they're having to divvy it out now because of the way the game's so far reaching and your brand. Again,
yes,
it's the mad thing. Yeah. It's not Liverpool football, it's Liverpool Football Club, and it will always be that for us, the fans, and so forth. But from the organization perspective or the management perspective, it's a brand.
Yep.
So you know what I mean. They're getting when we're talking about a sporting director, he's looking for players who are going to fit the brand, not just as necessarily for club, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's about of course it is a chance to always maximize your revenue.
Yeah,
any which way possible. Any which way possible.
You know, even if they go like, oh, we're going to recruit someone from, I don't know, Mongolia. At the same time, if they're bringing someone in from Mongolia as a player to the club because of their technical ability, they're also looking at actually how they market out in Mongolia, Liverpool, the brand. It's all kind of tied in.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that, and like I said, it's one of those where I'm just purely like goggles. I'm a football person.
Yeah,
like literally just put the ball on the green island. Let's play.
Yeah,
but this is where but this is where Klopp Talk and speaking with you guys and speaking to all the listeners as well is brilliant, because I now get to learn the other side of the game in respect of the commercial value and, you know, the stakes in regards to the money and X, Y, and Z. So it's all a learning curve, and every day is a school day.
Of course, never too old to learn, even at your age, Prince.
Ain't that right, Stoney?
Yeah.
So
that innit.
Sorry, Stoney.
Coop mayonnaise. If that's how you pronounce it. Coop mayonnaise to Liverpool due to a delay from Juve, the Atalanta player. They're talking about their player actually played for Slot already. So the actual thing was that Juve was supposed to have had a deal in place, but Juve have now delayed and kind of reneged. So there's talk of maybe Slot wants to bring him to Anfield. How much do you know about this player?
I don't know enough to have the conversation, unfortunately.
Okay.
I know
Vinny must know about him.
Vinny must know about him.
No, I don't
I'm very surprised. So you didn't watch him play for Atalanta?
I did, but I'm more interested. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be more interested in what's his name, Somerville from Leeds. That's who I've been thinking about coming into Liverpool.
Well, that's another conversation. On that is that Liverpool have actually changed their mind. They're not really bothering with Somerville no more.
I think that's
the same with not bothering with Somerville, not bothering with Anthony Gordon either.
I think the Somerville thing is maybe just a kind of, we're not interested anymore, and let's see him push for the deal and see how come to a compromise in terms of maybe the financials of what the fee would be to buy him, which we've been known to do before. Remember, we pulled out the Salah deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more prone to I'm more like Somerville. I'm more wanting him. I would rather us get the other lad from Leeds. What's his name? What's his name? Ganato?
Oh, the midfielder. Is it the young German guy?
Is it German or Italian?
Plays on the wing.
Italian. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd look to go and get him, but then again, it's like, you know, I
don't think he's as consistent as Somerville, to be fair.
No, he's not. But I think like Somerville, like he really. Oh, to be fair, not many of these players turned up for the championship playoff. But in regards to Liverpool signings, Liverpool made me this way in regards to in the recent years. The way that we do our transfer deals in such quiet and with such diligence, and like the only times that you'll really know whether we sign someone is when they actually come out and say we're doing it. Liverpool never go and say, yeah, we might be going out here, or a source from Liverpool says this and X, Y, and Z. And it's like all these players we've been linked to, and I'm like, well, you know what? Liverpool must be doing their due diligence. They're doing the work behind the scenes. When the Liverpool player comes, they come. I've stopped speculating.
That's the one. Big shouts goes out to Doctor. Says exciting times, gents. Big up to the panel. He says decent option. Edison from Atlanta is better defensively, but Koopmeiners is probably the better on the ball. Okay. What's he talking about? Gray.
Leeds.
Oh, the Leeds.
Leeds. Yeah.
Archie Gray.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a bad shout. I mean, he's got, young potential.
They're talking about Leeds want 30 million for Somerville.
I think the thing with the thing with those two, that I know we mentioned it last week, and even go back to the situation with Gray. So Gray, I'm not too sure how old he is. I know he's young, right? So even though he can play serious positions, he's played CDM for Leeds, he played central midfield, he played attacking midfielder, but he's predominantly a right back. If we were to get Gray, in my own head, then I'm thinking what happens in terms of his progression at Liverpool. So I'm thinking we got Trent, we got Bradley, who's already pushed through. We've already spoken about what will happen when Ramsey actually comes back, whether he's going to get staked his claim. So in my own head, if we were to go to Gray, is he going to get loaned out? And what's the reason for us purchasing him? And the same thing I was thinking about Somerville as well. And I mentioned on last week's show, we'll probably have another young player from Netherlands who's probably going to be in the same probably bracket as Gapco. Somerville's predominantly played on the left side of the forwards. That means he's going to be up against Diaz. He's going to be up against Gapco because Gapco can play over there. And he's also going to be up against Jota and also Darwin Núñez. So the same thing in my own head. If we get Somerville, are we getting him because he's going to be part of a squad? Or are we going to get him to purchase him and let him be loaned back out to the Championship to get some more experience? So for me, that's the reason why I got question marks over those two players. For me, if we're going to get these players, and you're right. But also Vinny, he said Diaz is going to be gone. But also Vinny, I was thinking as well. Diaz played 2 games this season, the right side of the forward when Salah was on the bench. And I think Diaz plays better on the right side of the forward than he does over on the left. His productive output was so much more. However, it was only the 2 games. But if Salah moves on, then I think Diaz can move over into the right-hand side. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you see, all the talk is of the same thing again. Like we've spoken about it before. Barcelona are showing so much interest in it, but they ain't got no dough. And the talks are 75 million.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I said it in a group I'm in earlier. Diaz, I don't think he's gonna get any better. I think he puts in his work rate cannot be questioned. 100% every week you're gonna get that. But I don't think we get enough output. And I was challenged on it, quite rightly, that's to say maybe I'm comparing him to that holy trinity we had before with Mane, Salah and Firmino. So maybe the standards that we've been expected to, that once in a lifetime trio we got, means what we've got now pales in comparison. But I think for me, Diaz, I know he had an injury, right, and that has to be taken into account. But I don't think he's flourished enough from when he first come in. I think we're still seeing that same guy who was when he first came in that second half of that season. We were like, whoa,
yeah,
he's going to be amazing next season when he settles in, or the season after when he settles in. And I still think we're having that same sort of conversation about it.
I'd like. Well, I still want to give him that opportunity to see what he's like under the new coach. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a clean slate with Slot coming in, and you never know that. With Diaz, I think Diaz needed help, and I think he carried the team a little bit on his at points during the season. He carried us on his shoulders, and I think he needed help, and I think he needs, like any good players, they need good players around them to bounce off. But I still agree with Vinny that I think there should still be, we should still expect more from Diaz, i.e. I would like to see him score more goals. Because yes, he's quite good in regards to his energy, his endeavour, his enthusiasm thing. However, getting into those positions in regards to goal scoring positions, I'd like to see him get in positions more and score more goals.
Okay. Well, listen, this is something that may happen under the new manager, especially if you change up the formation a little bit. You never know. These are things that might happen. This is what I want to see and give him that opportunity. 100%. I have to. He's one of the players I'm willing to give an opportunity.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So Breeze says, King Vinny, you're absolutely right about Darwin. Hopefully the panelists will listen to you because they don't listen to me.
I weren't talking about Darwin.
I was just going to say, he's talking about Diaz.
I'm talking about Diaz. Darwin's my guy.
Darwin on the mind. But talking about Darwin anyway, because that was my next point I was actually going to get to, was Darwin once again. So the latest talk now is Ollie Watkins to replace Darwin.
Yeah. I saw that.
That is the latest talk that we are now seeing. How do we feel about that one? Is that an upgrade, gentlemen?
No.
Here, Fred, straight away. No.
Absolutely not.
He outscored him playing for a lesser team.
I've got to be honest, to be fair, right, Watkins, it's got personal for me. He wound me up when they beat Liverpool, right, and his smug face when he scored a hat-trick or whatever it was against thing, that smug little smile and that smug thing, it done my nothing. And I don't want him on my team.
One of the best teams in the land, bro. Look, you know what I mean? Probably growing up as a boy as well. You know what I mean? You're seeing big bad Liverpool, and now you're playing against them. You scored a hat-trick. Come on.
I don't want to see people being smug. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take it personal when someone scores a hat trick against my team and they're looking all smug. I'm going to take it personal. All right.
Ross is taking this thing too far. That's it, but Teta, to replace. No, so seriously, on a serious note, Stoney, Ollie Watkins to replace Darwin.
My viewpoint on this hasn't really changed that much, and my viewpoint is this. Darwin Núñez is not the finished article. We may never see the finished article in Darwin Núñez at Liverpool. However, what we hopefully are going to see next season is what he's able to do with 3 seasons underneath his belt at Liverpool and the opportunity to play underneath a different manager. Has Darwin Núñez's numbers been on the same as Ollie Watkins, especially this season? The answer is no. However, Ollie Watkins has still probably got, I think Ollie Watkins is, 28? So he's probably got 4 years more gaming experience than Darwin Núñez. So for me, it's a stick with Darwin Núñez. I want to see what he does for this season, and then we can take it on from there. But if it's a swap between the two for this up and coming season, the answer for me is going to be no. I like Ollie Watkins, but the answer for me is going to be no.
Okay, Vinny.
Yeah, I'm like with Stoney and Preds, I think I wouldn't take on Watkins. By taking on Watkins, you might get a Chris Lambert situation. Remember when Chris Lambert was at Southampton, killing it? We bought him, and then he tanked. Do you know what I mean? So you could end up with a similar situation in there. And I still haven't forgiven him for those misses against Man City, which cost us the league. Do you know what I mean? I'm on that sort of Spurs. I'm on that Spurs Arsenal fix. When there was 2-0 up, he missed some sitters. And all of a sudden now we want to talk about him playing for Liverpool because he's had a good season. Don't we? Good player, and I think he's definitely getting an England squad ahead of Tony. Unfortunately, Ivan Toney's not going to be going to the Euros, and Ollie Watkins deserves that. But yeah, I don't see that happening. But I think like Pred said earlier, the thing about Liverpool, it's good to have these conversations. It's fun to have these conversations. They generate debate, topic. But we know these guys move in silence. They're going to sign someone who we have not had any Scooby about. Who? Where? We didn't see that coming. That's what's going to happen. Happen.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right. For real.
Ain't that situation as well where they go on stealth? Ain't that like exciting enough?
Yeah.
Because it's like they move stealth, and all of a sudden they bring this player in. And it's like, okay, and like you've said, Artie, with like regards to Edwards has got a good track record. He's got a good track record, a good eye. So it's good that he's back in the fold, and I'm looking forward to, with anticipation, what comes through the door.
Okay, all right. One more transfer tidbit then is another player that we are looking at is a centre back. He could become cheap because of financial fair play and the club being relegated and needing to generate funds. Is Morello, centre back for Nottingham Forest. Now that one is a bit of a curveball for me. They rate him as a good player. You know what? I've actually saw a couple of decent performances for him, and then you have to wonder. All right, so he's a defender in a team that got relegated.
They didn't get relegated.
Sorry, no, sorry, yeah, didn't get relegated, but conceded a bag of goals. Yeah. But also, is it because he's playing in a poor team? Is he worth that? Is he worth that step up?
I don't know. That's like it's like you're saying that he's a diamond in the rough. And I didn't see much sparkle from him when he was playing. But saying that, I've not really seen many in Forest games, so I can't really. It'd be quite unjust to say, well, yeah, he's not a good enough player. I just feel if you're at Forest, I don't see his name hasn't been bandied about so much to say, yeah, he's the best player that Forest have got, and he's far too good for that team.
No, because they never really look at that, do they? Defenders like that too often. It's obviously going to be players like your Gibbs White and so forth. That's who they'll be looking at.
Yeah, but you know what?
But like players and that who do the graft and all that, they go under the radar more time.
Yeah, but you know, like I'm gonna kind of spit my thing out in a minute. You know, like the young lad at our bitter rivals, Braithwaite. Now,
Braithwaite, yeah.
Like Everton have not been playing great. However, people have been talking about him, and he's been playing really, really well. And
yeah, because they've got nothing else going forward, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Forest have. You've got Gibbs White, you've got Callum Hudson-Odoi to talk about. Do you understand? It's a bit different.
Yeah. All right,
Everton ain't got Jack. Trust me.
Yeah, I just think
to talk about.
I think it would just be. Yeah, I think it would just be. I don't know. You know what? Like I said, with Liverpool and the way they stealth movements, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing in football ever surprises me anymore. So
he's obviously going to come cheap as well.
How old is he?
It's 21.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, he's 21. I think it's. I don't know where he was before. I'm sure this is his first season for Nottingham Forest. I'm sure he's with Corinthians before. Yeah. But I could be wrong.
No, it's first season.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. Like, I'd be more happy seeing Konza getting more of an opportunity.
He's been getting plenty.
Yeah, and I want to see him get more. I really want to see him get more opportunities because I think he's got so much more to offer as well, and so much more.
If Moreno comes in, Moreno is not coming to start before Konza.
No,
I'll tell you that much. No way.
I wouldn't like to think so.
Yeah,
I think it'll be quite down the low, down the pecking order. However, if it's someone who's going to be someone as a squad member, then if he fits the bill and he hits criteria, then I trust in Edwards.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, very glad you said that. Okay, gentlemen. Let's run through this squad quick and fast. Yeah, no long thing, quick and fast. I'm gonna give you a name. Does he stay? Does he go? And quickly, and I mean briefly, he stays because I don't want anybody sitting there and telling me about and getting any tangent and getting comfortable. Listen,
it's either swipe left or swipe right.
Thank you very much. You got the memo. You got the memo. Okay. So, Allison.
Stay.
Stoney.
Stay.
Vinny.
Stay.
Okay, because there's big talk about Saudi coming back in for him again. Him and Salah. All right, Kelleher. Preds.
Stay.
Stoney.
Stays.
Vinny.
Want to stay, but he's going.
Okay, yep. Doesn't want to stifle his career. He's had a taste of the first team for that time that Alisson was out, and he really feels that he wants more of that now. So is it a case of, do I stay and fight, or do I go somewhere else where I can get first team football? I can't remember who it was, but somebody else was meant to be coming in for him, but they only wanted to pay 15 mil. And Liverpool weren't interested in that. They turned that down. It's not enough. Adrian. Preds. Stoney.
His contract's up at the end of June anyway, so he's definitely gone.
Okay.
I thought he had another year.
Nah, it's in just the end of June, June the 30th. His contract's up.
Are you sure?
It's next month.
100%.
Okay, fair play.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, go anyway.
Okay. All right. Preds. Gomez.
Stay.
Oh, all right. Stoney. Ooh.
Stay.
Okay, Vinny.
Stay.
Okay. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Fred.
Stay.
We're getting in that same order here, gentlemen. So when I say it, we're getting that same order. Fred, Stoney, Vinny.
Stay.
Okay.
Stay.
Stay.
Go.
Okay. So I need that one now. I need to ask briefly, why?
Because I think, such as his talent, he's an incredible talent, but I think we're going to have more problems trying to fit him in where he's best suited than playing him at right back. And I don't think he wants. That's my only reason.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. VVD.
He walks into that left back position, man.
VVD. Stay.
Stoney.
Oh God, he's only got 1 year left, isn't it? Stay. 32.
Okay.
It's going to go on a 3.
Stay.
Okay. Robbo.
Stay.
Stoney.
He can go because I want Gomez to take the left back position, so Robbo can move on.
Okay. Vinny.
Stay.
Simicast.
Swipe left. He can go.
All right. Stoney.
Yeah, I'm swiping left as well. He's gone.
Okay. Vinny.
Au revoir.
Oh gosh. Gone.
Vinny went
Konza.
continental there, boy. Stay.
Stay.
Absolutely stay.
Okay. Kanate.
Stay.
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 Reese Williams.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah, he can. Yeah, Reese Williams will move on.
Okay.
I can go into this conversation with Reese Williams for so long, but
No. That's all right, bro. It's all right.
Yeah, next.
Okay. Bradley.
Stay.
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 Endo. A little ninja.
Stay.
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 Mac 10.
Stay.
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 Jones.
Go.
Stay.
Stay.
Quickly, Preds. Why should he go?
I think I just don't think that he's hitting that elite level that we're going to need going forward. And he's always going to be a bit player. And I just think, you know what? I think there's going to be he's got a space that can be filled by someone who's got a bit more quality.
100%. All right. Gravenberg.
Stay.
Yeah, we've only just bought him, so he's going to stay.
He's Dutch, so he's staying.
I didn't say that. I said, what do you want?
Oh, he stayed. Yeah, stay.
Okay. Clark.
I'm going to go Bobby Clark, and what I'm going to now go in the middle and say go on loan. Stay, but go on loan.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
He stays for me.
Stays for me.
So Bosley.
Stay.
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 What a legend he's been DJing as well this week.
But Bajetic.
Stay.
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 Diaz.
Stay.
Stay.
Let's see what Vinny says.
Go. He can go.
All right. I think we know that you need to answer. You said you're saying doesn't give out enough. Salah.
Thank you for your service. You've been absolutely brilliant. You've given me fantastic memories. It's time for you to go.
Stoney.
Yeah, I'm infamous Preds. If he stays, that contract is going to just be dragging out too much, and it's going to overshadow what we're trying to do for this season. So yeah, Salah can go.
VW.
Right. Yeah, he can go, but I think he's staying.
Okay. Gakpo.
I want him to stay so I can carry on blasting him, so he can carry on, so he can keep improving.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know.
He's staying for me as well.
I know Stoney's saying that. I know that.
Yeah.
VW.
Yeah, he can stay.
What, because he's Dutch again?
Yeah, he's Dutch.
Nunes.
Stay.
Yeah, he stays.
Okay.
Stays.
Listen, when I said you're not answering like you're answering for the manager, I'm asking for your lot's opinion.
Yeah, he can stay. another day.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay.
stays.
Hey now, hey now.
Dan's.
Yeah, he's a young lad. I'd like to see him stay. He's done enough
Yeah.
for me.
He stays.
Yeah,
He got his new
1000%
he got his new contract as well. Got his new contract as well, so he stays.
Okay. Elliot.
150,000% stay.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott stays as well.
If that is
Stay.
actually a number.
Jota. The shotter.
Stay.
He
Would like him
stays
to
as well
stay.
for me.
Yeah.
He can go.
Woo!
See, I was on the fence there, and I'm with you. You know what? Let me hear what he's got to say.
Yeah. Quickly, Vinny.
Right, because he's going to be injured again. I can tell you now, right? I think he's brilliant. When he would have said he would have won us the league, right? But he's injured, mate. He's injury prone, and we can't afford that now. Can't afford injuries to carry these players, mate. Yeah. So au revoir.
All right. Cade Gordon.
He's a young lad, got potential, so I like him to stay and see what he can do.
Yeah, he stays.
Stays.
Doak.
Again, got potential, youngster coming from the academy, so I would like him to stay and see if he can implement and affect himself in the first team.
Yep, he stays as well. This is a young Scottish lad, right?
Yeah.
Bendoy? Yeah, he
Yeah.
stays as well. A few injuries
Okay.
last season, so yeah, he stays.
Yep, stays.
Kumas.
Kumas. He's not the goalkeeper, is he? He's midfield.
No,
Midfielder,
yeah,
isn't he?
just been called up to the World Squad.
He's not related to Jason Kumas, is he?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it seems like all these old school footballers have got their boys coming through the thing now, isn't it? So, look, youngster, he's in. You've mentioned him, so I would like him to stay to see what potential he has.
Stays.
Stays. He ain't threatening no one, so stays.
He ain't threatening no one, did I say he stayed? Okay. So
I can't believe you've left out the one name that
Yeah,
Stoney's
you've left
been
that one name, man.
who did I leave out?
Stoney's
boy.
been waiting. You can see. Look,
I said nothing at all. You
No,
know.
but you know what? Though
Who did I forget?
we've done this show long enough, right, to see, all right, the anticipation that Stoney was on the edge of his seat and he's waiting for you to just mention those salient words. Carvalho.
Valio.
Oh yeah. All right.
Let's go to Clarky first. I mean, let's go to Stoney first.
No, you know what? To be fair, there's actually a few players who I left out because they was on they was on loan, and I didn't actually put them in because what was originally going to happen was this was actually going to be the main body of the show, and we was actually going to talk about each player properly. But because time went on, we got speaking, time's cut out. That's why I just rushed through it, and I've left out certain players. So Carvalho, Sepp Vandenberg was another one, and there was a couple others as well who've been out on loan and done pretty well. But actually, Carvalho, I actually can't leave him out for real. I can't leave him out.
Of course, you can't leave him out. Your boy.
No, you're right. You're right.
Your boy's got shares in him.
I kind of rate him as a player still. And now with whatever it was that he had with Klopp, so like you said, it's a fresh start now. Preds, Carvalho.
Stoney, I love you, brother. I'll tell you everything, but yeah, you got to go, bro.
Okay. Stoney.
You know what the thing is? This could, and I'm going to be honest. This could be a situation similar to Jadon Sancho, right? where for whatever reason it didn't work out with him at Manchester United. It appeared that it was something to do with the manager. The player moved on. I just want to see whether Cavalier can actually come back in a different playing environment after being out on loan underneath a new manager and see whether he fits in. That's all I want to see. Look, the thing is, and I've said it before, he's still young enough. He's still contracted, I think, to 2027. If it doesn't work out, we'll still get more than what we actually paid for him. It didn't work out for him at Hull. It wasn't just for him, it was the rest of the players as well. So I just want to see what he does this season underneath a new manager and see where it takes him.
No, but he had a good season at Hull. He had a good season.
Not as good as I think he could have. He didn't have as much game time as I think he probably thought it was.
He had about, I think it was 20 goal involvements in his time there. And what they were actually talking about for him was getting 20 million for him. If he was to sell him, he could get about 20 million, they reckon.
I don't. So that's still more because I think we paid for about 15.
We basically played about 7. 7.5 in total. The original fee was 2 point something, and then it was like, that, I can't remember how they call it.
Yeah, we had to pay more because he was young.
The age, you have to pay the extra.
Yeah.
Then they said there's an extra 5 million, so it worked out to be about 7.5. But they reckon we could get 20 million for it.
Well, I think, look, it was just, what did he pay? It's probably about 2 in 1. I think he probably paid just under about 21 games and that attacking midfielder position. I think he scored probably about 9 goals, which ain't too bad. 9 goals, 2 assists down there for Hull this season.
So it's all about.
So I just want to see.
It all depends, though, on what kind of system the new manager wants to play, and does he fit into that system?
And I agree, but I'm just going to go back to how he played when he was down at Fulham. They played the 4-2-3-1 there. If Mitrovic didn't play as a striker, Cavalier played there, and he could play anywhere of the 3 behind the forwards. So left, attacking midfielder, or on the right hand or on the right hand side. He's actually a versatile player. So you're right. It depends on how Slot's going to play, and it depends on whether he can understand and to the demands what's going to be required from him. But the original question was, should he stay? My answer is yes. I just want to see him get a run out this season.
To be honest, I'd like him to stay. I think he's that kind of baller that we need. He can unlock a defense and that. I'd like him to stay. Myself, personally.
I mean, look, you never know. He might come in and come in with a blaze of glory and have a great pre-season. And we all know that players who come in, they can have a great pre-season, which gives them a foundation to go forward for the season. So you might just never know. Or someone might come in with a cheeky bid and it says au revoir.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed that he does. He comes in. I think that's the kind of player that one of the kind of players that we are actually missing, that we don't have at the club. And I think, we got quite a lot of like workman-esque players, where this kind of guy, you know what I mean, is totally different for me. And I think that could be the difference.
But then, do you think that probably why he didn't play, because technically he is very good, and you can, like you say, he can open up, open up defenses potentially. However, was there question marks on his work rate?
I don't know what part of his attitude or whatever it was, whether it was work rate or whatever, but that's what I got was the main issue. Was there was something to do with attitude more than anything else, other than his performances.
Yeah, because sometimes you've got these lads who not saying that he done it, but sometimes you do get these lads who he's got his transfer to Liverpool and all of a sudden he's the big I am. But we don't. We're only hearing hearsay and X, Y, and Z. So it'd be unfair to kind of judge the lad on something that we don't actually know. If something that's happened between him and Klopp. But I hope it really isn't the point of he got Billy big time and it dipped and it affected him and it impacted him. So hopefully he's got a clean slot.
All right. Saving that one up, ain't you, mate? All right.
Oh God.
Okay. Before we go, I will just say that currently, I think started it. I think last week. I've nearly finished it now. I'm currently reading Si Senor. Whose book is that?
I don't know. Rafa?
Rafa.
Oh my days.
I
Vinny?
don't know. God.
Si, senor.
Suarez?
Suarez.
So you don't know the song? About
Nope.
Si Senor giving the ball and he'll score?
No.
Suarez.
Oh my days.
Torres.
Torres.
Oh,
Enlighten me.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Firmino.
Bobby.
He's got a book out, Aziz.
Yeah.
You got a book out.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So that's what I'm currently reading at the moment. Like I said, I only got it started it early last week, and I'm basically just over halfway through already. Decent. It's a decent.
So is it in Spanish? Is it in Spanish or has it been translated to English?
It should be in Portuguese.
Well, in Portuguese, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Portuguese. That's right. Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
but you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not the greatest book that I've read, but there's bits and pieces that's very interesting when you talk about their career and what happened and the little things that happened to actually make it big and whatever, and how close it was to going somewhere else or missing out on whatever. So them little parts are not too bad, to be fair. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's a good little read, man. Good little read.
What, like a little Portuguese slide indoors?
Si, senor. Give him the ball and he'll score. Oh, Bobby Firmino.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, thank you very much. And all those in the panel, thank you very much for joining us. Do remember, hit the like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. It's all about Cop Talk each and every Thursday, 10 o'clock, right here on YouTube. Preds, back to his normal self. I'm going to have him in the office in the morning. We'll talk about his timekeeping again. All right. Don't worry about that. BW, you get a blind because you're not regular. So, all right, we'll let you off. Don't take the beep. See, I've even got my directors there beeping me out.
Apologies.
Tony, my brother, as always.
Thank you.
Peace and love. Yeah,
Before we come off here, I just got one question. I just got one question to ask Preds.
Yeah.
Was that Vimto or Ribena that you've been drinking?
Without
or
the thingy.
Or sarsaparilla.
No, man.
Right,
Vimto, brother, Vimto.
Hey, and before we go off the line, before we come offline,
Vimto.
how is it that someone gets a team relegated and then gets a job in one of the biggest clubs in the world?
I understand that, though.
Football, nothing surprises me. Fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Well, do you know what? Stranger things have happened, mate. You look at other managers who get certain jobs, even though they've been crap.
Yeah.
Big job. Crap. So you know what? Good on him, mate. Good on him.
Yeah.
And apparently, actually Bayern did ask Pep's advice, and Pep backed him up. He said, "Yeah, I'd give him the opportunity."
It's good.
Let's give the opportunity. Fair play. So,
no, fair play, mate. Wish them all the best.
My peoples, we will see you next week, same time, same place.